Hey YouTube, coming at you with the Beyond the Hype for Toucannon. So I played with this team in the Catch Cup. So ignore the team completely. I didn't even put the graphics for the team because it doesn't make sense. It's the only Pokemon I had. But I wanted to talk about Toucannon. I used it just because I wanted to test it out to see what it is like. I'm going to go over its stats and everything here in a second. It's a very fun but tricky Pokemon to use, especially depending on your IVs for if you're using a Shadow. So Shadow's ranked 92, the non-Shadow 126. This is one where the Shadow does seem to be better because the Drill Pecks end up taken out after the one shield, whereas sometimes the non-Shadow does not. It's a very attack-heavy Pokemon, 137 attack, 96 defense, 123 stamina. Very, very, very glassy. And when you're using that Shadow and just buffing that already glass cannon attack and the terrible defense, it basically cannot take any moves. In terms of typing, it is a normal flying typing, so think Pharaoh and Pidgeot. Weak to Electric, Ice, and Rock. Double resisting Ghost, double resisting Ground, and then resisting Bug and Grass. Obviously, pros and cons for this season. Dedenne as the main Electric got nerfed, but on the other hand, Ice got buffed as well. And with Ice being buffed, potentially seeing less Grounds and more Rocks. So all in all, a net, I think, negative for this Pokemon this season, which is why it was the Shadow was ranked like 75 last season. I can actually just show you because that is still up when I'm filming this. Toucannon, the Shadow was ranked 75 last season, and this season is down to the 95, 92 range because just the way the typings are going to work in the meta right now. In terms of stat moves, you only have flying moves, and this is the moves that you want to run: Peck, Drill Peck, and Beak Blast. When I was doing the community day, I said, "Oh, Beak Blast, it's a nuke." So I saw debuff, nuke, 158 attack, and I'm like, "Oh, 158 attack, nuke. Of course you're gonna lower your attack." No, you lower your freaking opponent's attack. So it's a 158.4 damage move coming at 14 turns that lowers your opponent's attack, which is insane. Drill Peck does 100 damage, and then with those pecks with the Shadows, 4.32. So what I had found was there's definitely a lot of times in matchups where you could just go Peck, Drill Peck. Whenever I could go Beak Blast, if I was only going to get one move off, I did. I think I know my IVs are bad. It's like 7 to 5 type IVs. And I don't know. Maybe I'll just try and do the analysis right now to see if that matters. Because if you have like ideal IVs versus non-ideal, I feel like I lost matchups that I was like, oh, I'm surprised I did this bad. So let's maximize this first one, and then the second one we'll do my IVs, which are again something like, I don't know, off by 7 to 5, something like that. Yeah, that seems about right. Pretty poorly ranked IVs. How many matchups do you end up losing? So you do end up losing a couple of the matchups and some average. Annihilate to end up tying, and then you lose Talonflame and Wigglytuff. It's just because like you do feel that lack of bulk with the bad IVs. It's already such a glassy Pokemon, and when you don't have like optimal IVs, it already kind of limits you. But you can see like you've got an overall good record: 31-20 versus 28 and 22. One shield, even energy. What I found with this Pokemon was you won the ones you're supposed to win, you lost ones you're supposed to lose. I tried to use it as a safe swap. Felt good if your opponent did not have an answer to it. If they did have an answer to it, it felt like you were in trouble. And other times it felt like if you came in like behind on energy, like 1 or 2 behind on energy, you were in trouble. It just felt like this Pokemon just absolutely dominates in like neutral matchups with any sort of energy advantage. But if you get in a bad matchup or you're behind on energy or shields, it's basically a top left because you're not going to come back from it. So just look at some, again, don't worry about the team. Just kind of look at what I'm just going to highlight, which is the fast move damage you're going to get from the Pecks, how much the Drill Pecks do, how much damage you take, stuff like that. So we have Credility versus Weezing. I let them throw the Rock Tomb and finally come Toucan. You can see those pecks adding up, but you can also see those acids adding up, right? So the acids definitely chipping here, but so are the Pecks. I do just take the move, and I come out with a move and a half, and this is where I felt like I'm okay. Freck comes in, so two Drill Pecks probably takes us out, but going to lower the attack first. If they were just truly going to let this go, it probably makes sense to go double Drill Peck, and that's what I found like most of the time. Because now, as you can see, Togekiss comes in. I'm not going to get to a move, so now I have to instant swap out of there because I'm not going to get to a move. So what I had found most of the time is if you're only going to get one move off, if you're only going to get one move off, then throw the Beak Break. If you have the potential to get two moves off, I found that just going straight Drill Peck felt like it was more helpful in matchups because the fast move damage from your opponent is so much that you basically needed to just dump energy and put pressure on shields and potentially come out with a third Drill Peck. Because getting off a Beak Break and a Drill Peck and not getting to a third Drill Peck is definitely nowhere near as valuable as just being able to go 3 Drill Pecks. So in this matchup, good matchup for Wheezing. You're pacing to those brutal swings at 8 here, which is super effective. Sometimes I shielded this one and sometimes I just let it go and just took the shield advantage on the Toucannon. So I let it go. Toucannon comes in. The Ghost is resisted. They get to move. I didn't know if it was Dynamic Punch. Problem is you can't... This Pokemon is easy to bait against because you cannot... you're worried about any move coming at you that would be neutral. Neutral moves are going to like basically take you out. So get to the Beak Break. Do take it to the deep yellow. And again, right, this is what I felt. I went against a Dunsparce. I went against an Azumarill. Beak Break is a great move. It's 158 attack, but these are very bulky Pokemon and can live these Beak Breaks. So it was fine to throw it, nuke it within Hydro Cannon range, lower its attack, so I'm not worried about any moves. Now I can come out with some energy here. It is a Credilli, so if I can get a couple of these Hydro Cannons off, I'm in a probably good spot just to potentially just peck down here. Because this Hydro is going to take it to the red, red, because it's like again, this is a bad IV. I mean, it's a Hundo, but just not optimal for GBL. But it was the only thing I had for the Catch Cup. And at this point, it's so low, I'm like, this is probably just peck range. And with the Ghost resisted, just coming to the peck down, and you can just see the damage that these pecks are doing. Like, the pecks feel overpowered at times. So, Abomasnow lead, kind of neutralish, and it's not a leafage, so these Powder Snows are neutral. Again, oftentimes I'm not shielding, even though it does so much damage, because I just want to be able to take the energy advantage with Toucannon. You know, the only problem is I have a water in the back here and a flyer, so an ice grass is going to cause this all sorts of problems. But I decided to come in with Toucannon and just maybe get... Pecks are super effective, and they came in with Dedenne. So again, I would not build the team like this. I probably would have an answer for Dedenne this, like last season. I probably have an answer for Stunfisk this season if I'm playing with Toucannon. I throw this because I just want to see what it does. Beak Blast takes it to the deep yellow. And this will not be surprising. This is 158 damage nuke move that even resisted, take off what, 20%? You're still doing 120-ish, 130 damage move, even resisted. So can really cause your opponent some problems, but you pay for it with the inability to take it, basically any damage. And now down shields, I'm basically just kind of sacrificing this to be met with the Corviknight. I was trying to get to the move. I should have known that I was just not going to get to the move. And you can't take anything, right? So this is going to take me out. I should have chipped, even though it's resisted. Steals are going to cause you problems. If you're going to use Toucannon, I would cover steel weakness. I would cover electric weakness for sure. And then, you know, you may want to cover ice as well. So pairings could be... I know Annihilate was one of the suggested pairings. coming in, let me just stop this because I have two thoughts here. One, pairing with this is like an Annihilate, because Annihilate will hit super effective against ice. It can deal with most electrics, and will deal with the steels. So Annihilate is a nice pairing with it. At the same time, someone said you can potentially use this as a safe swap. So, I mean, I wouldn't use that as a safe swap when there's a ground on the lead, because they probably have an answer to a flyer, as they do here with Carbink. But my concern with using this as a safe swap was what you're seeing here. You could just go against a Bastiodon, a Carbink, a Stunfisk, and yes, Beak Blast. I said Beak Break a couple times. Beak Blast is a great move, and you are, even in these bulky resistant matchups, chipping to 50% or lower. It's an instant loss, and your opponent keeps switching, comes out with a ton of energy, and it really puts you in an almost impossible spot to be able to work out of those situations. So I had suggested when I did the community analysis that, you know, running a potential Pharaoh Toucannon line with Pharaoh as your safe swap, that if you do get hit with a Bastiodon or you do get hit with a Carbink, you can at least throw some drill runs or steals. You can at least throw some drill runs to Dene, electric, throw some drill runs, beat it with probably a ground or something lead, and then that make you triple to ice, so maybe Gastrodon lead, and then go into your Toucannon to kind of sweep, hopefully with energy shield advantage. So that's a potential way to play this Pokemon. Make a catch here, not that it matters too much. You're pretty far behind. So yeah, bulky Pokemon that could ideally grab some shields, cover all those weaknesses that I mentioned. We still have like 12 minutes of videos here, so go over some of the other ones. But a lot of losses. But again, don't care. I was in the 3,000 elo range with a team that made no sense. So I was just wanting to test out the Pokemon. And you see I put in like Spidops at the lead soon too. Pharaoh lead is a pretty good lead. Drill pecks are going to add up, but at the same time, so was my my sludges, and I would have got outpaced on the next sludge. I mentioned, and this is an example of why I know this is to be the case. I said that when you're behind on energy, in even sort of neutral matchups, you are in trouble. So here we have a Diggersby. It's a Shadow Diggersby at that, so it's adding a little more damage, but tackle's neutral. Fire Punch is non-stab and a bad move, but as you're going to see here, just how glassy you are. They can't go Scorching Sands, that's resisted, but how glassy you are takes me to the deep yellow, and now I'm not going to be able to take this out before they take me down here. And this is where I said you should go double Drill Peck, and I'm one short of the Drill Peck. So I landed the Beak Blast, grabbed a shield, but I lowered the attack, but I was one short of the Drill Peck. So I feel like if you are going to use it in sort of mid-game, if you're going to use it early or mid-game, I would almost suggest going Drill Peck constantly. If you are using it at the end game, then you can just start blasting Pokemon and taking them out with that move. But I think in the mid game, this Pokemon plays better just going straight Drill Peck. So that would be my suggestion with how to play it. But definitely make sure you have two bulky Pokemon to cover the weaknesses. And the weaknesses are varied, right? Annihilate makes the most sense to cover a lot of them, but you still need to worry about quite a few Pokemon out there. So, gonna throw this Brutal Swing here, but it's a Gastrodon against a Weezing. Again, these Weezing IVs are not great, which I felt like hurt me a bit here. But, it has some potential. I just felt like it was a little too glassy and doesn't one-shot, but you do spam quite quickly on these Sludges, which are great moves. But when Sludge is resisted, it's kind of when you put yourself in trouble. One rollout away from winning that matchup. Stunfisk, I have to just play this matchup out because I'm double weak to electric in the back, even though this is a terrible matchup. Not much you can do. Again, Catch Cup, not worried about that. Worried about how Toucannon plays. And is it this one? I think this is the one where my opponent mistimes and I get 3 brutal swings off. And while it is not enough to take out, it's enough to put it into like a couple HP where Toucannon gets a peck advantage, and that is nice, is helpful. Yeah. So my opponent tries to Thundershock down, realizes they're not going to get it, end up CMP tying on this one. I get the brutal swing, leaves them with 1 HP. So they'll get 1 Thundershock on me, but I will get 1 peck on them. They're not going to get to another move. And now I have a 1 peck advantage. And here's the Pharaoh, and this is what I'm saying. We're both doing pecks to each other. But man, look at how much damage mine is taking. I don't think I'm confident staying in to get to another one. So I just instant swap. I'm already in the yellow from 4 pecks from Pharaoh. Again, I think IVs are coming into play there, but this thing is just so glassy, and Pharaoh's decently attack heavy itself. Out comes an Annihilate. I, at this point, think it was fast move, try to fast move down my opponent. So I let this move go, knowing they're probably going to go Rage Fist, get to the Hydro, and then I think I instant swap into the Toucannon, trying to just peck down. But here comes a move, and I was hoping that, it's low enough that peck goes through. They need to go 5 more. I was hoping it's enough. 2, 3, 4. As you can see, I'm 1 short. And at that, they take me out. So they have a charge move, which means they will get to the move to take me out here. So just so much fast move damage pressure coming back your way. So it feels pretty tough at times. So I switch out Wheezing after playing so many to be hit immediately with a Togekiss. So absolutely brutal. Came into Blastoise, took the move. Out comes a Hypno. So we'll see what we can do here. Get to the Hydro. I think it leaves them with like 1 HP. Yeah, and so they, I guess 2 HP, or a few HP, enough. They do not get to move off, which is nice. Toucannon has to come in immediately. And yes, Pecks are doing a ton on them, but vice versa. The fast moves are doing a lot on you. Have to shield up everything. What's in the back? They're not showing me what's in the back just yet. So I will get this move off, grab 1 shield. You're likely to grab shields. And this is the thing why I think Drill Peck is actually better. You are almost always going to grab shields with this Pokemon. This Pokemon is so attack heavy and scary for your opponent that you're almost always going to grab shields. Unfortunately, they have 2 flyers, and a Galarian Moltres at that. So, first matchup, not beating the allegations of an algorithm and cheating behind the scenes. The second I get rid of my Galarian Wheezing for a bug Pokemon, I am met with double flyer, one of them being a dark Pokemon. Hilarious. And again, on the lead, next matchup is a Dedenne, which is a poison, weak to poison fairy as well. So decide to shield up the first move. Again, don't love having to shield up a Pokemon to play with Toucannon down shields, but figured that getting the attack fall may be beneficial. I get to a second Rock Tomb, and they do shield here. And then I didn't know the counts, so I know lunge is quicker, so I'm like, okay, let's just get to lunge here. I have to let this go. I thought that lunge would get to it like 1 before, and I had to throw like right when I got to it. So I did, but I guess lunge and Rock Tomb comes at the same on the 3rd one. Now you know. Lunge is resisted, and with that, they live. They do dump a move, and we're going to get into the same situation where Toucannon is just going to get that 1 peck advantage here. So get that peck advantage. Their attack is 3 times lower, so that Thundershock's doing nothing. Credilli comes in, and here we go. Drill Peck bait, because 1, they have a Rock Tomb. They're going to want to lower my attack anyways, but 2, they are likely to shield anything. So get the bait off. I have to shield up anything. You can see those acids have already taken me to basically 50%. Getting to the nuke even though my attack is lowered, this will be enough to take them out. So there they go. It is a Marowak in the back. My attack is lowered. I was trying to get to the nuke, realized I wasn't going to get to the nuke, so just kind of caught it on Blastoise, and Blastoise with Hydro should be okay anyways. So yeah, kind of a fun Pokemon, kind of unique Pokemon. I think we have maybe like 1 or 2 more battles after this. Yeah, 2 more battles. So definitely one worth testing out. Obviously this season, I'm filming this before the season actually starts. Because again, I did this in Catch Cup, but I want to showcase it for Beyond the Hype during the new season. You may need to watch for this. You need to maybe watch for more Sandslashes and Celios and Ice type Pokemon. Dedenne, maybe a little less. Any sort of Steels. Ice and Steels are 2 that I would, and Rock. Ice, Steels, and Rock are 3 typings that I would focus on when building around it. Annihilate is recommended. Something with bulk is ideal here. Do you get the lunge off, which does lower the attack on Zweilous? I know it has Body Slam and Dark Pulse. I already grabbed 1 shield from them, so I felt like I was okay just to match. Probably should have just thrown the move to take him out, but with the lowered attack, I felt like maybe I can live this. It's a non-stab Body Slam, but even so, takes you down to a few HP that I can't even get to another move here because one fast move is going to take me out before I get to a charge move here. So, it's tough. It's tough for this Pokemon at times in neutral situations. Yeah. Neutral situations where you're like behind on energy and need to shield up often. We'll see the electrics this season. I've mentioned multiple times, I think Charger Bug is going to be extremely, extremely strong. I think that just with less ground, more ice, a lot of these ice are water Pokemon, put you in a pretty good spot there. Stunfisk should still be everywhere, which is going to be a tough matchup for you, but you do have neutral X Scissor, so it's okay. And then more Peko. Lantern? But a lot of people who run Lantern run Water Gun now, so I don't even know how much more useful that's going to be. Yeah, we'll see. Again, don't go into your immediate answer, but I didn't trust Toucannon to come into Talonflame there. That's the problem. I could not trust that my Toucannon would be able to survive many of those Incinerates. And when you're coming in behind on energy, it's tough to like live in those matchups where your opponent's doing so much fast move damage too. Sorry, someone, I had my, just mute this so nothing comes up. Someone just posted, I got a notification from Metal Esquire who went back on my Pick-a-Pick community and said, posting for historical purposes post-com day, analysis is spot on and playing Catch Cup. 90% of teams have this as a leader closer. The blast comes super fast, easily disguises the bait move. Yep, does substantial damage to even resisted mons. Looks much more manageable if you have a balanced team. Right, so that's thank you, Matt. You just basically summarized in 2 sentences what I said here. Strong Pokemon, fun Pokemon, hits even bad in neutral situations, very glassy, very easy to bait the Dropex, because Dropex just put on a lot of pressure, as you're seeing right here. Even in resistant matchups, put on pressure, your opponent wants to shield early. You can run with this Pokemon a lot, but it's glassy. So that is it. Yeah, so stay tuned for a bunch of Pokemon that we'll do Beyond the Hype for this season. I don't know when this is going to go up. This is either going to go up first or second on Wednesday. I don't want to make it go too late. But yeah, so it's probably going to go up sometime on Wednesday. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.